everyone. Wanted to talk about a real important thing that I feel that's really kept us successful in expediting, and that is networking. Keeping up to date with the industry changing. The trucking in a whole is a constantly evolving industry, and if you don't keep up with the times, you're going to get left behind. These younger folks are coming out here and, you know, learning the trade and changing things a little bit, bringing new problem-solving skills to the table. And as veteran expediters or just looking into getting into expediting, I feel networking is a valuable tool. And I wanted to share with you guys a couple of the things that we use to keep up to date, you know, where we network at. First time I ever heard about networking was when I worked at my old courier company. The owner there, he used to go to these networking groups where he would go and have these luncheons, and you know, back then I was like, what a nerdy thing to do, you know. I just pictured in my head all these old guys with their britches pulled up to the middle of their belly, shirts tucked in, bragging about how much money their business made. And, you know, I just thought it was a nerdy thing to do. But since we've been into expediting, you know, when I really started researching, I found that it's a valuable tool to have, you know. Finding out what the industry's doing and getting different perspectives of industry changes from other folks and learning to evolve from those changes. If you're not able to evolve, you're going to get left behind, because we constantly have new people coming into trucking in a whole, bringing different problem-solving skills to the table. So I'm going to share with you guys a few of the networking tools that we use, websites, radio channels, things like that, I feel everybody looking to get into trucking or that are in trucking should be utilizing these tools. If you're not, I feel you'll get left behind. You know, you got to keep up with the changes. First place I recommend everybody to sign up for, read on, is Expediters Online. I cannot express how valuable of a tool that is for a person looking to get into expediting. Nowhere on the internet is there more information on expediting trucking than Expediters Online. You got your blog sections, for instance, our videos. You got Bob and Linda Cappy doing their blogs, Greg Huggins doing his blog. Those people have such a wealth of knowledge in this industry, and they're constantly evolving with it. I'm constantly on Expediters Online, just reading through random stuff sometimes. A lot of times when I'm reading on there, I'm not necessarily looking for one thing. I'm just browsing through stuff, and I'm learning stuff out of the blue. So I'm going through a section and just reading something about engines, and somebody might comment something about pairing engines with transmissions, or, you know, just different things. It's such a wealth of knowledge on Expediters Online. The next place I always use for keeping up with what other drivers are doing is Facebook. There are multiple expediter and trucking Facebook groups out there that you can read what other drivers are doing, where they're taking loads at, where they're having to sit for a week for their next load. A good, for instance, is El Paso. El Paso is one of the biggest hit or miss cities to take a delivery to. There's times you'll take a delivery there and sit over a week trying to get a load out of there. Then there's other times you'll get a load before you even get to El Paso. The only real way that I've learned to know that is reading what other drivers are doing. If you see drivers posting on their Facebook page or on the group page that, hey, I've been sitting in El Paso for a week, or if you see 2 or 3 sitting out there, chances are you're not going to want to take a load out there. So a couple of the groups that we follow, the first one is Transportation Life. Another good one is Expedite Nation. And for us, since we're with Panther, there's 2 Panther groups out there that is strictly for Panther drivers. But I believe FedEx has a Facebook page that they all network together with. And I think there's a couple others. I haven't looked into those, but we kind of network with all the other Panther drivers and, you know, read what they're doing, share information with them, new drivers, veterans. Next one is Sirius Satellite Radio. Now, a lot of people don't know that Sirius has a whole channel dedicated to nothing but trucking all day long. Now, it's not expediting, but it's the trucking industry in a whole. You can learn a lot of the regulations that are changing on there. There's a real good show that I listen to religiously, and that's Kevin Rutherford. He has such a wealth of knowledge of the of running a business, doing taxes, and running a proper trucking business. Definitely if you don't have Sirius Satellite Radio, look into it. Since we do use it for researching the trucking, listening to that Road Dog Radio, they have weather on there. You can use this as a tax write-off. You can write off your Sirius XM subscription each year. So it's absolutely, I think, a must to keep up to date. Next one is OIDA. What it costs us for a year subscription, like $55. Now, a lot of times they'll have like a promotional period where they'll knock it down to, I think, about $35 or $40. With a membership to that, not only do you get a lot of discounts for things like insurance, health insurance, life insurance, but they also send out magazines to your home, Landline magazine. OOIDA is where we get our information for regulations that are in the works. They're looking to enforce new regulations. They talk about changes in existing regulations. This helps keep us legal. You know, make sure we're doing the job by the book, legally and responsibly. Highly recommend becoming a member, even if you guys are van guys. And all these tips are for you cargo van guys too. We haul freight. We're in the transportation industry. Things that change in trucking change how cargo van freight's moving. So keeping up to date in all transportation aspects, I think, is very important. My biggest advice with networking is never become comfortable. Never feel that you've learned it all, that you don't need to keep up with the industry. With an evolving industry like trucking, you have to keep evolving with it. I think that's one thing that's really kept us successful is, even though we do really good and we're hardworking, we're making decent money, we're happy with our jobs, we never try to just stay comfortable with what we're doing. We constantly try to talk with other drivers, whether we're at the truck stops or on one of these social media networks or Expediters Online. We always try to take other opinions into perspective. Even if we don't think it's the right way, I try to think of other opinions as another way. My way is not always the only way to do things. And that's what I think networking really helps with, is it keeps you grounded, humbled, and it doesn't allow you to think you got the world by the balls, you know. If you guys know any networking places you network at, places you get information, what helps you guys keep up to date with the industry, share down below with the other drivers. We'd like to check them out too. I'm always looking for new places to really stay up to date and kind of get an idea of what other drivers are doing. Comment down below with where you network at. if you guys got any tips for others or even us, we're always open for tips from you guys as well. It's not a one way. Y'all listen to us and that's the final way it's gonna be. You know, I love hearing networking with some of you guys on YouTube. You know, we get a lot of commenters, and you know, kind of gives us different perspectives on some of the videos we do and stuff. If you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. Stay up to date with the business and be successful, okay? We'll see you guys in our next video. Peace, love, and expediting. You gots to be on Expediters Online.com.